Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to go ahead and try to explain to everyone the difference between the various types of regurgitation and stenosis. And I feel that the best way to understand the differences or be able to differentiate which is by understanding systole and diastole. So here, in this diagram I have here, this is the left atrium, this is the right atrium, this is the left ventricle, this is the right ventricle. This right here is the mitral valve, this right here is the tricuspid valve, this right here is the aortic valve, and this right here is the pulmonic valve. During systole, what happens is the mitral valve and the tricuspid valve, they close and blood enters into the left and right ventricle. And that blood gets pumped into the aortic and the pulmonic valve. And as soon as the aortic and pulmonic valve closes, that is the end of systole and the beginning of diastole. During diastole, blood goes through the left and right atrium into the left and right ventricle, and the mitral and tricuspid valves open. So once they close again, and all the blood is in the left and right ventricle, then that is the end of diastole and the beginning of systole, and the cycle repeats. Now, in order to understand regurgitation or stenosis, we're going to go through regurgitation first. So, during regurgitation, what that is just a backflow in which the valve doesn't close properly, so blood just flows back. So during systole, when the mitral and the tricuspid valve closes and they don't close properly, then that is considered mitral or tricuspid regurgitation. And the blood flows back into the left or right atrium. During diastole, when the aortic and the pulmonic valves are supposed to be closed and they don't close properly, that is aortic or pulmonic regurgitation, and blood from here goes back into the left or right ventricle. In contrast, with stenosis, which is the narrowing of the openings, during systole, when the aortic and pulmonic valves open, so that way blood can push through, this opening is narrowed. So that would be called aortic or pulmonic stenosis. During diastole, when the mitral and the tricuspid valve open, if this opening is narrow, that is considered mitral or tricuspid stenosis. Hopefully that helps.